Hey guys, this is Layered Review, and I wanted to go over how NRG beat the 3-0 FlyQuest to put themselves in a three-way tie for first place. So the first thing you need to note is that they have Azir, the best mid lane champion in the entire game right now. They have a disadvantaged top lane against Darius, which is... he has to be a little careful, and the reason why you see champs like Darius, Mord, and like Olaf, and like whatever else, is because a lot of these champs just don't offer like any engage or like strong tools for starting fights in general. Like, you're not playing like Darius into an Ornn, a Malphite, whatever, who even if they fall down, they can go mid and actually get a playoff. You're playing as Udyr, you're playing as Cassante. All they can do is run at you, and that's it. It's basically like a Garen. It's like a Darius. They're all very similar champs in that sense, just their kits are different in how they can pressure the individual. So that's why you see Blippo playing these kinds of champs, who, again, are kind of equal, but do better inside and always have the move. So naturally, if you have the first shift over this guy, and this guy has to catch here, and you're moving first, then you can get a 5v4 on the map, and that's great. So that's kind of how they've built up their strategy. So they pick Cassante, who's a power pick, and they're basically accepting the situation in top and telling Dokla to play well. They have an Ivern who can deal with the poke of these two champs. They have a best mid lane pick, and then they have an early game Kalista versus the second best early game pick in bot lane Varus. Naturally, you would assume that you want to deal with the bot lane situation, but if they stay safe, then the bot lane can kind of just operate as their own and ensure that Dokla, who most likely gets shoved in, oops, not that, who gets shoved in, and then this wave will bounce out, and then they'll try to kill him here on the bounced wave, right? That Ivern can be here and protect him. So let's see how their plan works. I'm going to do only NRG's vision, just so you can kind of figure out how this goes. So they place a Raptor's ward. Again, this is important because if Sejuani does like this kind of pathing, right, she shows here. One, she has an option to go into mid. It's not ideal to do it for Corki, but if she does, you can see it. But also more importantly, if she starts up here, then she's probably going to pad down and do maybe 6 camps, right? 6 camps. In that case, your bot lane needs to think about wards, especially if they get control of wards, whatever. How do they want to play around this, ideally? And that will just help a ton with wave play overall. So it's a very simple ward, does a lot. He's in lane over the fact that Blippo has actually invaded topside on his own, which can be problematic and stall out your jungle. He's in lane because he is afraid that if Darius controls this and he tries to walk up, Darius will zone him instantly, and it'll be a 3 big wave crash, possibly cheater. Maybe they can dive. Probably not, probably can't dive, honestly, but regardless, he could do this, and that could be annoying. If he's here, then it won't be nearly as bad. So that's kind of the reason why he's here versus here. He's gonna get invaded on. So this is pretty annoying, but keep in mind, he's playing Ivern. This is a little bit different from your normal jungle. As a normal jungler, if you flashed away and you wasted like 5 seconds, I mean, that's 5 seconds you gotta spend like DPSing the camp. Ivern is just going to do his same stupid, like, I'm going to make friends with the animals and then consume them. This doesn't actually hurt Ivern nearly as much as it hurts like a regular jungler like Sejuani. Unless he gets really low. If you can damage his health, then his passive becomes substantially worse, and then he has the base, and then his clear is actually worse than a normal jungler, because a normal jungler could get away with still doing some camps because they can vamp back. Ivern can't. So that's like the main like goal, is trying to get his health pool, which he doesn't really do. He's able to flash, nothing bad happens. Not great. Doesn't get the proc off. Meanwhile, in bot lane, these two are standing here because they stood in the brush first. All they really aim to do is throw some poke at them, and then they kind of back off. They can't really hold this position because if they do, Rel will engage, and the Kalista's a better level 1 champ than Varus. So you don't want to do anything long, you're just doing something short, whatever. What happens is that he stays here, and then he needs to run, right? He throws his E, and she actually keeps running. So if the E was like placed here, it would slow Callista enough that it might not be the worst. He also could throw it here, in which case Rel can't really move, and then he's just gonna back away and just kind of trade autos. He'll get a rend off, it'll suck, but not the end of the world. But the fact that he threw it here, barely hit her, and she's running, and then also the Renata, notice the space. Do people like to think of the... Do you have like a perpendicular line between the two, right? Sorry, not perpendicular. You're parallel with the other person. Like, ideally, that's the kind of thing you want to go for. But if you notice, these guys are like way out here. Like, it's like this right now. Like, there's quite a bit of distance. So Varus is in a very bad spot. He flashes in. The Varus does not answer flash because he's saying, okay, well, maybe we can fight this out. Which in this case, part of me thinks, I wonder if like her going W early on is actually beneficial and they can win that in some sense. But I mean, also it's Ignite versus heal, cleanse. If he doesn't cleanse well, then it's doomed. So he has to basically wait for the Ignite to cleanse. They all in. He ignites right away and gets the cleanse. They press into him. He barely lives. Boom, he lives, he survives. Then the Rel goes a little too hard at this point. In this case, he gets like chased down. But the worst part is the fact that Inspired comes down here to check this out. And so since Inspired is down here, he's level 2. He did 1 camp, he did the blue buff. Guess what the Ivern's doing? The Ivern has done 3 camps. And now he can move already. Yeah, this guy's gained zone, but it's not nearly as bad. So the Ivern, completely unaffected, has 3 camps prepped. He gets to go steal the red. Inspired is here. Also, I want to point out how, and I didn't highlight this, he actually goes, he doesn't anticipate what the Ren damage is, and he actually gets killed by Ren. So Kalista got a kill. They have to trade the Varus flash for this situation as well still anyways. Then they're trying to push this wave in because it's like, oh shit, I mean, we can't let it freeze. This guy's taking the red, and Inspired's like, well, I can't sit here because I got a base. But they can't get it in. It's too slow. So Kalista is completely unaffected from this situation. In fact, she actually benefits more than the enemy AD, even though enemy jungle showed up. Then Ivern comes through here. Okay, messes with Corki a little bit. This kind of affects the base and the control. So now this actually goes a little bit into the advantage of Palafox, even though like Jensen was doing fine. And then you notice the Ivern's like, okay, well, I'll just take these. I'm just gonna clear these camps. My top laner's fine. They're growing a wave. And since they're growing a wave and they're zoned, the Varus can't contest because no flash. He's able to just stand up here and pressure and notice his pull Sejuani. So now they have to share XP with this wave. And Sejuani's like, okay, well, I don't want to stand too close because, like, again, I don't want to share XP. This guy's still level 1 at 430, by the way. Meanwhile, Contracts is like, okay, I'll prop this this crab. I know you showed bot. I have smite. I'm gonna take your raptors. I'm gonna prep another crab. He bases because he needs to get his items. The Cassante is fine. The other guy took a cheater recall or took a quick base, and Cassante got the wave in. And yes, this guy's freezing the wave, but at the end of the day, it's perfectly fine for Cassante. Like, you're really happy. And so to make this thing's even more funny, so notice he goes here, he takes this. He's level 5. Sejuani is just hitting level 4. There's over a level difference, which is really rough. And so then the Rel, Hui, smart man as he is, and I'm gonna go back to here just to make sure I could show this. Hui was on his base, like Hui already took his base, right? Comes over, clears some vision. He protects the crab. Again, he notices this. He's like, I'm gonna overwatch this, protect the crab. I'm gonna be a ward. He's being a human ward. Sejuani moves in. Azir shuffles in, gets this guy. Low combo play, kill him, huge. They're able to get the next crab. Now they're able to pressure a dive. They go in, they get a kill. It's pretty messy in the end, and honestly, I'm just say right now, like, they have 2 flashes. Ideally, You know, they also have Renata, like, W, which is pretty annoying, and he has Cleanse, so... It's a little annoying. Let's see how they do it. Flashes in. Cleanses. Yeah, the Renata W kind of screwed them over. They don't have to necessarily go for this, but I understand why they went for it, just because Sejuani is showing in this situation. Azir have... Okay, Azir definitely... Yeah, there you go. So he goes in. If they could time it well enough, you know, the Ivern would be tanking and then he would flash out. The fact that Azir's tanking is why he dies. He just doesn't have flash. But whatever. They made a conscious choice to make a proactive play, right? The Sejuani shows again. Guess what? Ivern's able to take this out. Yes, he went too far. And then Inspired, being frustrated with how the game's going, also decides to kind of go a little bit too far. Honestly, did he even go that far? Not really. He basically took one extra move. He got slowed by the shield, and then he tried to flash away, and it was too late. So now this guy's level 6. So he's level 6, and guess what? What the fuck does Monster do? This guy gets killed again. So, in a span of 7 minutes into this game, the huge mistakes that FlyQuest made was, one, the level 1 Varus situation. This was really bad with the Renata. Like, this was pretty bad. Then Inspired having to go bot, or feeling like he needs to go bot, the fact this. And then the fact that Darius did not get the good level 1 HP trade onto Ivern means that Ivern was way far ahead. Way far ahead. And because of this, Contracts is able to navigate these situations. Also, just want to say, the fact that Busio died and they couldn't get the wave in, like, everything that could go wrong in bot lane in the first 3 minutes happened. Like, it was just the worst situation could happen, and where bot lane and jungle, all three of these players were completely screwed from how things went. And so I'm gonna kind of like speed this up now and just show the rest of the game and just kind of slowly go over it. Grubbies are up, you know, these guys are building a wave, which now gives them a chance to play on bot if Inspired rush down there. But here's the thing, he can't. Why can't he? Because he's level 5. Because if Inspired tries to do a rush play on bot lane and Ivern matches, the game's over. If he doesn't farm and they do the bot dive, and let's say they can't kill them, or like it's like a 1-for-1, even a 2-for-1, he's even more useless. So he loses out no matter what. The risk is not there. He should just do camps and try to get back into the game for level 6 and then make a play. That's all he can do. Meanwhile, Cassante, he's completely fine. In fact, if you notice, he actually is able to get this guy's flash. So he's actually kind of winning in his own matchup, which is even better. Like, even better than expected. So top is going well, mid is going well, bot is going well, jungle is going well. What else do you have to ask for, right? So again, look at bot lane. They're fine. And notice he doesn't go for the grubs. Why doesn't he go for the grubs? Here's the thing, guys. Grubs is only good if bot is okay. That's it. The grubs is only good if your bot lane is okay. If it's gonna screw over your bot lane, if you're gonna lose your bot camps, don't do it. Or if you're gonna, and this is the only other reason why you can do grubs, if your bot is gonna get screwed, if bot is screwed, you better carry. So if you know this will actively screw your bot lane, but it's getting you a level 6, and then you're going to turn that level 6 into pressuring enemy jungler, so you can fight the jungler, duel him, and win out, that's when it's good. But otherwise, don't do it, okay? So the Ivern, you know, like I said, this game is in a really tight situation. They're going for another big man dive. They all get low. This guy ends up dying. They don't get a pick. And now we're just... Now what are we doing? What can we do? The Ivern has all these prep camps. He's just taking them all. These guys switch to mid now. They want to play for grubs, possibly for the dragon. The dragon makes a little bit more sense than the grubs at this point because you can't get 6 grubs. Yeah, it's a 4 minutes respawn timer. FlyQuest makes like their first play, and this is off FBI kind of playing a little too aggro. Like this is like one of the biggest chance plays they possibly have. They know Sejuani's on top side. They're aiming for bot side. Busio's like kind of like contesting this on his own, which is very weird, by the way. Like if I turn this on FlyQuest vision only, this guy's going towards his camps, right? So he's clearing the raptors, and yet Busio's here kind of giving like brief vision here, and that's fine initially, but like actively contesting this way while your Sejuani's here, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And of course, so he gets hit by this. He has Q. He's waiting for this guy to flash, and so he only flashes after, you know, the Q comes out. So FBI is playing it pretty well, and he gets a Renata like R off, and he doesn't die. And why doesn't he die? Because if I turn into energy vision, look, E. Oh, the shield can't die. Counter kill. Big shuffle. And they're all dead. That was the last big play that FlyQuest really had in themselves to make before this game turned from like bad to worse. Like if they mess up just one more play like they did in this case, then it's pretty much over. And it was a big gamble, and in the end you have to take gambles on plays when you're behind, because why? How else are you gonna get ahead? Like if you play a normal game, you're gonna lose because you're already behind. Like there is no way you're gonna turtle out this game as with your champs in their current states. So if I throw this at 8 times and I put this in a big overhead view, because let's be honest, like I don't really need to talk too much about like the intricacies of what's happening in these like in this match. Pretty much you can kind of just watch as is and see how like Blippo, he's taking chances to pull pressure because he has to. If he doesn't pull pressure, then like how's this team gonna operate? Like that's something you need to note when you're playing. Like if you're playing top lane and you have the ability to have presence to pull numbers and your team is losing, it's okay if you die at times, because if it allows your other team members to farm and not be plays, it's good. So he kind of has to put himself in that position. If he goes mid, he doesn't do anything. He's playing Darius. It only works if they're all like in an even state or being decent, but they're behind. So the Darius pick is now kind of useless, just like joining the team. So he dies again, twice in a row. His team's not really benefiting as much, but you notice they actually make a play on bot side. So they got like one return thing, which is like, okay, not bad. They punch through mid with Herald. They're able to get another dragon, and so pretty much you're gonna see over the next 10 minutes they're just gonna cure like the next set of dragons. Not gonna really do much about it.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
They're taking over the top jungle. You know, they're playing a very simple like 1-3-1 with the convergence on top side because dragon's gone. So you're just playing for vision, you're playing for the camps. Then you're gonna pressure the Baron. They had good vision. It got a little sloppy, but they're able to clean up. They're massively ahead, right? Then you're gonna play for the next dragon. Again, all this is very expected at this point of the game. Nothing is like too shocking. They even were able to pick up an inhib with their Baron, which is huge. So they're actually doing a really good job accelerating this game, kind of like forcing FlyQuest to answer their these situations. And since FlyQuest's poke damage is not nearly strong enough to kind of punch punch through like the massive like item advantage that NRG has, yeah, it just turns into this. And so by the end, if you look at here, it's like last fight of the game. You know, we're contesting mid wave. We have Corki package. Jensen's standing way far up, and he actually gets caught and killed before he can use Corky Package. Well, he basically uses Corky Package after the fact, but this was their last chance. Like, I already said the last, like, it technically, you know, the fight that they lost with the 3-man play on mid was their last chance. If you were to make any other last chance, it's with a package play. And Jensen just kills himself and doesn't make anything of it, so that was it. That was NRG versus FlyQuest. All lost within the first 3 minutes, and then even more lost after that one play on mid. That's how important it is to have a good start in League. Don't make major mistakes, because a good team like NRG will punish you greatly. Thanks for watching.